Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening whenever and wherever you all. And welcome back to the beta plan playing Shadowrun. Warning, a lot of exposition, meaning dialogue, in this episode. And now we have entered an area that I myself don't know what will happen. So, everybody, welcome. We're again in blind territory. Very good. The rat shaman guides you from the doorway on the... By the way, did we get no karma for this? No, we got no karma for escaping. The red shaman guides you from the doorway on the street through an eternity of winding alleys, damp sub-basements, and empty buildings. Oh, so that's why we're now left alone. Stumbling through refuse and filth, you make your way into the sewers below Victoria Harbor. It reeks down here, but it's quiet. Gobbet stops, sniffs, and wipes her eyes with the back of her wrist. Her words squeak softly in the folds of her clothing. The dwarf watches her silently for a moment, then moves closer and gently takes her hand. In the dim light of the sewer, you can see they're nearly the same age. No more than 20, 21 tops. Is she having a panic attack? No, that's not very logical when you sniff her. No, well, whatever. You know what? What were their names? She keeps her head down until to the floor. The troll you were talking to was Nightjar. He was our friend. The elf was called Gutshot. I thought she was taking a gut shot, but instead of taking a head shot, but the elf was called Gutshot. Kind of an asshole, but I didn't need to see his head splattered everywhere like that. She inhales a cleansing breath. Nightjar was a good guy. Always had our backs. Isabel's and mine. Or is Nobel? Because this is a zero. Or a null, so is Nobel. I'm going with Isobel because it's easier to pronounce than Isnobel. But perhaps that might be what she's actually going for, Isnobel. Which means that she is a Nobel Prize herself, more or less, huh? Isnobel nods in agreement, and now I'm doing it. In agreement, her voice is flat. Rare to find a runner that you can actually trust. She looks to her friend. Are we clear? Gobbet looks back the way you came. I think we've shaken him. She sniffs the air. Yeah, we're clear. What, you can follow people by sniffing them in the air? That is really good. I wonder if that is just going to be a plot thing, or if that we're going to use that for reals. Wu begins pacing, his boots splashing in the sewer water, creating echoes down the tunnel. You can feel the tension coming off him in waves. Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. This is bullshit. I'm done messing around in alleys and sewers. I'm done running from cops. He pokes a thumb at his chest and spits in anger forth a raspy growl. For fuck's sakes, I am a cop. We, noticed. There's a Lone Star Sergeant dead back there. Damn it, she was... Yeah, you were, I'm not sure how close you were, but still. Wu starts to choke up. He struggles against it, fighting to maintain control, but he needs a minute to recover. He finally manages to pull it together, but he's raw when he speaks again. His voice is seething and hoarse. I don't know what the hell's going on with Hong Kong cops, but I'm calling in some Lone Star backup from home. I'm gonna get some of my own people down here. Then we're gonna find Raymond and figure what the hell's going on. You got that much pull as a rookie? Wow. The little orc shrugs. Whatever you say, big guy. You have fun with that. She looks at her friend. They both nod. Iz and I are out of here. Best of luck finding your friend. He's not our friend. He's our foster father. Just to make it sure that they understand that we are hurt as well. She looks straight at you. Her tone is flat. And he's probably a dead man. Sorry, but it's the truth. Wu isn't listening. You can better not. You can see on his face that he's already written the orc girl off. He pulls a security-grade PDA from his holster on his left leg, raises it, and starts tapping the buttons with a meaty finger. The Lone Star logo on the back of the device looks shiny and official. He stops, confused, and then taps it again harder. The red flashing image on the PDA reflects in his goggles. What the hell? I'm locked out of the network. He looks up at you. My law enforcement status has been revoked. Oh, that was a little quick, sorry. My law enforcement status has been revoked? He goes back to the screen. I don't believe it. This is saying there's an APB out on us, Quinn. You and me. Both. Oh, because it's so surprising if it wasn't just for me, right. I figured as much. You heard him on the loudspeakers. They knew our names. Wu glares at the wall, a storm raging across his face. Fucking hell. His hand clenches into a fist around his PDA. This just keeps getting worse. This game, yeah, perhaps I should have said that this series was 14 plus or something like that, because, whoa, swearing kinda happens a lot, and also other adult themes have passed the review in the last two games, which I don't mind at all. I like it when a game is a little bit nitty and gritty. Certainly RPGs, because some of them tend to be a little, I wouldn't say sweet, but they gloss over things, and unfortunately then if they do anything it almost always is rape, and well, that's kind of one of the worst things. And I want to like, could you perhaps also, I know, show addiction or something else that's terrible and not constantly put women in that spot. So yeah, sorry, tangent there. He leans forward as to punch the wall, his knuckles raping against it softly. A pantomime of barely constrained rage. Suddenly, he turns and slings his PDA at the far wall. It hits hard, bounces back, and clatters to the ground at his feet. He looks down at it, spent. And you just destroyed a valuable resource for us to get the information on where our foster father is. Smart man. The orc mouths an okay to herself, eyebrows raised. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye. Come on, Isnobel. Let's... Oh. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic there like a crazy ass. I might need to cut that off. She's caught off by the sudden smashing noise as her friend's boot comes crashing down on the PDA at Wu's feet. The dwarf looks down at her work, unsatisfied, and brings her boot down again and again and again, until there's nothing left but a small snarl of plastic housing, broken glass, and circuit board. She looks at Wu, her chest heaving, and points at the pile of crap she's created. Police issued. They can trace you through that. She turns to you, hand out. Yours too. It's on the network. I will smash it myself. We bury our own. You crush the PDA to shards under your foot while Isnobel looks on blankly. Good. She looks over at Gobbet, sighs, then reaches into her jacket pocket, pulling out 2 new PDAs. She hands them to you and Duncan. Burners. I suppose it's the least you after your help back there. Got any snacks in there? I'm getting kinda peckish. Nobel isn't listening. She's staring open-mouthed at her own PDA. Its bluish glow illuminating her horrified expression. Gobbet, we gotta go, right now. Nobel's voice is monotone but emphatic. She holds up her PDA to show her friend. They're after us too. The screen displays the local newscast. Your face stares back at you from the upper left corner of the screen. I'm sorry that this episode is running a little bit long, but I would like to get this conversation finished. And in breaking news, just under an hour ago, the Hong Kong port authorities were involved in a firefight with members of a terrorist cell linked to the mainland city-state of Henan. The battle left 3 terrorists dead, along with an unconfirmed number of Hong Kong police officers. Your image winks out, replaced by a scowling image of Duncan Wu, a mugshot from a long time ago. Before Raymond. Our sources report that Seattle natives Duncan Wu and Qing Liang Yu. Yes, so we are Seattle natives. What are we doing in Hong Kong? Darn it. Along with their Hong Kong-based accomplices, are still at large. They are well armed and should be considered extremely dangerous. By the way, this is not my computer doing this array of the rainbow across my screen. That is the way of the game showing that is on your PDA. They also use this same type of technique in the second game. Low-res photographs of Gobbet and Isnobel pop up on screen, replacing Duncan Wu. The color drains out of Gobbet's face. Oh shit. Yeah, this is a corporate setup if I ever heard one. Kowloon officials report that the terrorist cell known as the White Star maintains ties to the state of Henan and it is purported to be receiving weapons and funding from anti-corporate groups in the UCAS city-state of Seattle. So Seattle has a stake in Hong Kong? Why would you go across the ocean? Okay, that's... Okay, hold on, beta plan. Might be explained later. Continue. Port authorities are standing on high alert and the Hong Kong Police Force Special Duties Unit has been engaged to deal with the threat. We go live now to Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit, who will be making a statement. Behind the newscaster, a video window displays the location of your firefight in Victoria. However, the camera pans to Chief Inspector Crate. She is surrounded by a swarm of news reporters but appears unfazed by the attention. She speaks with a supreme confidence. We have yet to ascertain the motives for tonight's attack, but we are clearly a well-planned and coordinated effort. Crate sounds smooth, more like a corporate mouthpiece than a cop. Yeah, so this is definitely a corporate setup. Alright, Megacorps again. I'm ready. We have already issued an all points bulletin along with a kill or capture order for the 4 remaining terrorists. I have instructed the Special Duties Unit to make this manhunt a top priority. She looks directly into the camera. If you should see one or more of these individuals, do not attempt to engage them. Instead, tap into the HKPF flash code at the bottom of the screen. If you are on an authorized network and take a picture, our system will automatically identify them in your data stream. Do not talk to them more and make sure that we can keep this on an extremely low profile, but just flashing in a code that could have been rewired to something that's not of the Hong Kong police force. Right, I smell a setup a mile away. The Decker switches off her newscast and clips her PDA back onto her belt. For a moment, there's no sound but a roar of sewer water rushing through the pipes. Gobbet bends over, hands on her knees, sucking wind. Rat's scurry for her new position. I have the feeling this Orgo is a little bit of a drama. Why are you a Shadowrunner, girl? You don't seem to have very strong nerves. I thought we were fucked before, Wu's voice is eerily calm. But now, we are truly well fucked. Doesn't look good, doesn't it? His mouth tightens. Not at all. He begins stalking back and forth, and Panther in a cage. They've labeled us terrorists, and there's an APB out on us. I've heard this kind of announcement before. I know what comes with it. It doesn't matter if we have nothing to do with whatever city-state. They're gonna hunt us down. It's open season. Yep. Easy Nobel is not just the remain of Wood's PDA with a booted toe, and the 2 of us will be hunted down right alongside you. Gobbet's wide eyes they exit, tight as a spring. You can hear Shallow panting as she leans towards one, then the other. Gotta go deep, hit the mainland for a while until we can figure this out. Find a hole to crawl into. Just like a rat, I would say, huh? Gobbet looks at East Nobel, wipes her mouth, and points at you and Duncan. We gotta get them off the grid too. Way off. That was more the East Nobel voice that I gave to Gobbet there. The dwarf looks up at Duncan, and her large eyes narrow. Hey, Lone Star, you got a security license, right? That means you've got a sin too. Well, let me explain that because... Never mind, it gets explained more or less probably. Of course I have a sin. I wouldn't be able to get paid otherwise. Only criminals and lowlifes go sinless. She runs her hand along her cyber deck, thinking. That means that you can be traced, both of you. You get spotted by a drone or a security camera, get IDs by a retinal scanner, or try to use your cred stick or passport, and the Hong Kong police force will know just where to find you. Though, I know how a system identification number works, runner. Yeah, so that is the way in the future that people, well, can do anything with you. Passport, money-wise, that is your, well, we already have identification numbers that stands in our passport, but this is more or less the electronic version, and now everything is on the grid. So we're stuck in this country, no money, no passport, nothing. Wait, does that mean our Nugent is gone? Oh, we still have it. Gobbet pulls at her dreadlocks. We're just as screwed as you are, me and Iz. We were listed as accomplices, and we can't afford just to get caught. You lead them to us, one way or another. DNA samples, things we've told you, astral residue, more or less magical ways. I don't know, cop stuff. The little Decker looks from you to Wu, eyes narrowed, sizing you up. Yeah, we are a lot larger than the 2 of you. Well, I am at least a lot larger than you, dwarf. You can see her make a silent decision before she speaks. Her voice is flat, resigned. We need to get your sins burned. Delete you from the record books. All of them. All of them? Whoa, wait a minute. You want us to just erase our identities? Wu rubs a hand across his scalp. Beyond the fact that's insane, will it even work? If we burn our sins, get off the grid like that, won't we just redouble their efforts to find us? Condensation seeps its way into Nobel's dry tone. Imagine playing a game of hide and seek with a siren strapped to your head. Would you rather try and hide with the siren? Or with the siren conspicuously absent? No, we're not gonna find the way ourselves to get smuggled back to Seattle. That'd be too tough, I know that already. Let's get on with that. What do we have to do? I mean, we've been already a criminal before. Let's just erase everything of that, huh? Heck, we've been in a corporate institution prison sub type of thingy, so it might not be bad to get our sins burned and just get a whole new one. Goblet's voice dropped. We gotta ask for help. There's only one person we know who has that kind of pull it takes to burn a sin and hide us from cops. Kindly Chang. Sounds like a restaurant. Sorry, but I have to reply that. Yeah, well, she's not. And don't let her hear you say something like that, or you'll be searching for your tongue on the floor. Well, that's very kindly. Apparently this criminal, because that's already clear if she pulls out tongues, has a kind of a sarcastic type of name. She's what's known as a straw sandal, kind of a middle manager for the Yellow Lotus Syndicate, the Triad. Kindly Chang controls all the illegal activity in our neighborhood, smuggling, bootlegging, counterfeiting. So we probably destroyed one of her operations, seeing we killed some smugglers. Luckily we didn't kill all of them. Middle manager, is the Yellow Lotus Syndicate or retail outlet? Gobbet leans in, serious as death. Do not get the wrong impression. Kindly Chang is no bureaucrat. She controls a good-sized portion of Kowloon's underworld. She has soldiers, resources. She is smart, and she is not to be underestimated. His Nobel's voice is hollow and flat. Taking favors from a woman like Kindly Chang is a good way to get yourself into indentured servitude. You don't want to owe favors to a woman like that. Yet that is what you're proposing. Her eyes get big, round. Ideally, you don't want to deal with her at all. That was Nightjar's job. Okay, this is exactly the thing that just pops into my mind. Wait a minute, you know this woman? We've only met her once or twice. Nightjar was the one who worked with her, like I said. She's got her fingers in everything, including brokering Shadowruns for the corpse. Kylie Chen is our fixer. A fixer is the one that gets contracts for Shadowrunners, so it's more or less the middleman between the Shadowrunners and whoever needs them, so that, well, you can't be traced back when a job goes bad, for instance. Yowzer, and so this Kindly Ching is their fixer. Great! Gubba tries to make her voice light, confident. Just stay on our good side and you'll have nothing to worry about. Now let's get this done before one of you trips the APB and brings all hell down upon us. Well, and with that I say I thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty, apparently in this case in the form of Kindly Chang. Bye-bye.